So step one is laying this fabric, and then I'm going to add a layer of sand and then put our bricks on top. We're using 3.5 by 7 inch mini bricks for this whole patio, and you'll be able to see the pattern once I start laying those. But fabric first, because this area tends to be covered in weeds, so you really want to make sure that those aren't growing up in between all of the pavers. There used to be a sandbox here, a massive, like 15 by 15 foot sandbox that they had a play set sitting on, and we decided to take that out before we put sod on the yard, so we've just had this dirt patch since then. But we saved all of the sand from that sandbox, and we've been using it under all of the brick areas and anywhere we needed sand. This is the last area, and then we can finally get rid of the excess that's currently sitting on the driveway. Normally recommend a wheelbarrow for moving sand, but mine is currently filled with blocks, so trying to make it work, right? It does look like I'm going to need quite a bit of sand here, because currently the brick is coming up about 1/2 inch short of our edging, even with a small layer of sand. So I'm thinking probably about 1 inch of sand to bring it up level with the edging. So I've done some really basic screeding just to get these mountains out of the way, and now I'm bringing out a level to make sure that whatever level I choose over here next to the edging where it really matters is the same level that I'm keeping consistent throughout. So right now we're going uphill over here, which is what I expected visually, but now I have it confirmed, and I can start working on taking that height down.
Is that flush or is that below? That was below.
That's below. Do you want it flush?
I would love it flush.
Okay. It was closer to flush, and then
you tamped it. That's fine.
So now I'm going to add some more sand. Yep. So I forgot about tamping. Went back and did that, and now the bricks are just a little bit below the level of the edging. So I'm going to add a little bit more sand back, tamp it one more time, and then double check my height before I start laying bricks. So the thing that I'm most concerned with here is that the retaining wall that these are butting up to is not a perfectly flat surface. It has a lot of variation in texture. So I need to decide what the most bulging out part of the retaining wall is, so that my line doesn't get set behind that, because otherwise I'm going to have a wave in my first layer, which is going to make everything else not quite fit. First layer is set, and I think it's about as good as I'm going to get it in terms of being close to this wall while still being a straight line. So I'm hoping that I measured it against this wall correctly so that the side to side is correct. But either way, I just have to keep going with row 2 and hope for the best. We're going to need a lot of trim pieces around the outside edge to fit to the curve, but I'm going to cross that bridge later. So what I'm doing here is a basic basket weave, just 2 bricks one way, 2 bricks the other way, alternating back and forth, and trying to get a good mix of colors since there's quite a bit of variation in these bricks.
Oh, hey, babe. Oh, hey.
Thank you.
You move late?
No, I need to not do this with my left hand. And it's hard to cut a straight line.
Yeah. Looks like you might need to move late, though.
Aiming for about 4 to 6 inches overlap every time I add another piece of fabric, just to make sure that I don't have weeds growing between, and that if it slips, it's not going to be the gap. About an hour left of light to work with, and with the dog charging through here guaranteed, I'm hoping to get all of the main courses laid in the next hour, and then we'll come back sometime next week and get all of the trim pieces that need to be custom cut to the edge. I finished putting fabric around the rest of the patio, and now I'm going to add the rest of the sand that I need, finish up the bricks, all hopefully within the next half hour before the sun sets. So the hardest part is definitely getting this to line up along that back wall and deciding how much of a gap is okay. Can I fit another brick in there? Do I offset this row? I think ultimately I've left a couple gaps that I'm gonna have to come back and custom fit bricks for those spots. Just because I don't want too big of a gap against the wall, I'd rather do some custom cuts. So, I clearly did not finish before dark, but I am still going to finish this today. I have a light way over there that I could bring closer, but I'm too lazy to hook up an extension cord, so this is just going to work. Here we go. Alright, I finished laying everything that I can lay without doing those cuts, so I have all the leftover bricks that I'm going to be using for that in the future. I'm just going to stack them on the retaining wall and call it a night. Alright, we are back again with the patio. It is now December. Cold weather and snow kind of puts a damper on these projects, but it is time to finish off this patio. We have a little bit of repair to do since things have settled. We want to bring up the levels in a couple areas, make sure everything's flat, and then custom cut all of the bricks for the edges and the spots back here where it didn't fit along with the retaining wall. taken me a while to get around to editing this video. It is now June and I wanted to update you on how the patio held up over the winter. I was concerned that with how much sand it took to bring it up to level, that we would see a lot of heaving in the freeze-thaw cycles, and I'm really pleased with how well it's held up and how relatively stable it's been all season. So I'm going to show you some close-ups, and then don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below if there are any home projects you'd like to see next.